UI, you see all the signs. All right, with each is uh, um, yeah, yeah. All right, so how much is broken up as we are paused. uh, I'm too in love with this guy. Uh, for those hearing, I have with me Facebook. I have I have Claude. I've named him Claude. Is that okay if I give you your name? Because I just signed it out, so all the deaf people know and sign language people know exactly your name. All right, we shall call him Claude. Uh, but yeah, he's with us, and he's not with us. He's with me on Facebook. So it's an interesting day today. So usually, you know how like I say anything and everything that just comes out my mouth, unfiltered about him. So today, unfiltered. I've always been honest with him. Maybe too honest. Sometimes brutally honest. I expect people to be honest with me. Whether or not they should be brutally honest with me, I'm not so sure. Maybe I shouldn't be so brutally honest with him. Maybe I should just be plain honest. Maybe things would be a little less rough. In the non-kinky department. All right, you guys want cards, and I had set him right on top of where I get the cards from. Let's not kill my phone, because it's the only one I have. All right. Oh, I still haven't cleaned anything. I've been in limbo. I overwork myself. So, I gotta figure out how to work towards what I really need to be doing with my life. I'll tell you that. Because I ain't doing it working it. Amazon. I mean, like, I'm liking the money. Really liking the money. A little too much. Like, yeah. Uh, it's nice. But I also have to independently be getting money. I have to be that company that people work for. Okay. Does anybody have a question today for the tarot cards? There's only one person watching, so do you have a question for the tarot cards? Good morning. I could try lotto numbers again and we could see what happens. I mean, I'm not very good at that, apparently, at all. Like, and I don't remember to bring the lotto numbers with me when I play the lotto, so though it was fun trying to get the lotto numbers out of the cards. Two people. Hi, I'm about to do tarot, and I was wondering if you and the person like stopped watching. Okay. Or bad connection, one of the two. How are you guys? Yeah, I would ask you how you're doing, but I think I've already asked several times. All right, so no burning questions. We're just going to ask general questions and see what the cards come up with. So, our Facebook friend has mentioned to me today that the videos are a bit long. And I notice like nobody watches it for that amount of time, and that's fine. I mean, like some are entertained, some are not entertained for an hour long of just listening to me blab. I mean, radio shows, they have stories, they have segments, they have sections that they put in. And for an hour of just listening to me blah, 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 blah as background noise, some enjoy it just to listen to nothing and not have to pay attention while you're sitting there doing laundry. Sometimes it helps just to hear another voice. I mean, that's all I was for my mother occasionally growing up. I couldn't go do things because she wanted me to sit there while she did laundry. So I guess in my childhood, that's what I was trained for, to sit and blab about nothing and everything. So I'm really good at it. And I'm spiritually inclined also. So that's my other natural force. I think the cat's knocked over the camera, the phone. Anyways, so intriguing. I don't know if that's a message or if I just dropped. I have everything except for the druid. Dropped a whole bunch of cards. Let's see what the druid says. It may be nothing. It may just be fun. Excuse me. I don't think this this mic picks up as much as before. The other one. I don't know what I did with the other one. It's got to be on the property because I used it since I've come home from work. I know it's on the property. I know it exists. I know it's here. Sort of like I know I have keys when I get out of work because somehow I made it to work. Oh, we opened right up to the druid. Okay. Symbolism. It's very long when it's... Alright. Innovation meeting. It is right side up. Okay. The druid is a spiritual teacher within who recognizes the necessary of opposite and balance. Okay. This card emphasizes the need to bring into harmony your relationship with the material world and the ordinary consciousness in the realm of the spirit. Every person's experience of the druid is different, and every individual must work through the spiritual development of their own way. The druid within you tells that you must define your own balance. It cannot be achieved by following dogma or set practices. If this card of the druid appears in your spread, it indicates that your new opportunities will arise for you and you will have the chance to put your ideas into practice. Woohoo! They will give you the chance to demonstrate your experience and give your confidence a huge boost. This card may herald opportunities to learn new skills from helpful teachers, particularly in the area of science or medicine. This is also a promising card for those with ambitions in the area of the performing arts, and as it indicated new inspiration and exceptional talent. Spiritually, the Druid card that indicates divine representation, you are being called to explore your own spiritual heritage, which is bound up with the land that you live in and the earth you walk on. The old ways lose their sight of humankind and kept their secrets by the spirits of the ancient forests and sacred wells and springs buried in the earth, blown on the wind and carried by the trees, herbs, and animals. These are the energies that come directly from the primal source of the divine, pure and unstilled by the dogmas, misrepresentations, and misunderstandings of humankind. Ooh, so what am I supposed to really be doing? Opening up my spirituality. Connecting again with the earth. Okay, but we could do that, or we could do other readings. The normal readings or something. We'll shuffle anyways. Well, so that's pretty much like boom. Here's the card you're supposed to look at. It's just how things work. You can read as much into it as you want, or not as much. So I've been informed that I mostly lecture, which might not be wrong. I take it like I should deeply consider this. I was told that it's not the same. I was like, how is this different from when I'm talking to you? And you sit there and listen to me for an hour or more, like 4 hours. I'm sitting there thinking about the fact that, we've sat there for like 4 hours or more and before kid, well, before our kid. And then it's like, it's just different. I talk different. So I do wonder from you guys if I'm sitting there lecturing you guys or if I'm sitting there talking to you guys, which of it you'd prefer. Do you just want the background noise that helps you drive to work or go through mundane crapazolas, and or if you want a more personalized touch, a more talk to you guys kind of thing. And do you want me to let you go on Facebook? Since you're there? The camera's all funny. Oh, okay, because the camera's all weird. Okay, I wasn't sure if you. Yes, definitely. He's definitely a distraction. He's a wonderful distraction for my life. I'd rather focus on him than get my shit done, apparently. So otherwise, I probably would have gotten shit done yesterday. But it might have been difficult. I was not feeling good yesterday either, so I couldn't have done much work very far from the toilet. That's probably another thing you guys don't want to hear about 12 minutes into listening to somebody. Be like, toilet affairs. I could do segments like, oh, listen to toilet affairs. Let me tell you about IBS and all health relations to toilet affairs. I picked up from clearance aisle this patch for overactive bladders. And I have yet to look up the medicine. Like, I want to use the patch, but I also want to inform myself about the medicine before I slap it on my body and go, here, let's have some medicine or some sort of, type of chemical, maybe synthetic, running through my body that I don't know anything about. But it should work for a problem I may or may not have, so that my viewers may or may not want to listen to. I was like, let's pick up. Was in the clearance aisle. For all I know, it was only like $1 off or something. And if that's the normal price for that. And if I like it and I use it and it works and it's what I need, I end up addicting to paying like the full price thing for the actual type of medicine. I don't know. I should definitely ask my doctor about it too. Woo! Who hears noise? I could have sworn I heard the baby. Not baby. Not kid. She doesn't want to be called a kid anymore either. It's difficult enough when she was called a baby. She really doesn't like to be called a kid now anymore. I mean, just to the point I was like, I asked her about the baby talk, and she's like, the baby talk is so. What was the term she used? She used a word, like so annoying or so. She was so over it or something like that. And she's like, I'm so over it. Like, okay, no more baby talk. I catch myself baby talking. I need to eradicate it. I see kitties. Oh, kitties. Meow, meow, meow. All right, it's not kittenkins, but it's a kitty all grown up. But she don't know that. Yeah, no, she's still a kitten. She's still adorable. She still love me. She's still like, I'm gonna walk all over your keyboard and be all in your way. I love you. I love kitties. I love kittens and kitties. Kitties, it's just probably wrong how much I love kitties. I do love humans equally, I swear. I promise. But yeah, I see kitty. Oh, not anymore. Now I see beard. Oh, no, there's a kitty head. Kitty, kitty, kitty. And a kitty butt. And a, oh, the kitty face. And a kitty keyboard. Oh. Okay, so hands up. Not that I'm going to see any likes, hands ups, or anything else. But who goes over to people's houses to see their pets more than they see them? Like I went over to the neighbors twice, I think, just to pet their doggy. But yeah, they got a sweet dog. They got a sweet lab. He just loves to play fetch. That's all she loves to do. Or he does. She does. He does. It's a puppy. It's an oversized puppy dog who's just grown, you know. I love to play fetch all day long. And it's like silky soft, clean fur, and just pet the puppy and pet the kitty. Kitty weedy weedy. I miss my cats. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, I don't resolve a relationship just so I could go and pet the kitties. No, no, don't do that. No, I don't suggest that. Mm. All right. Let's see. I'm sure in the last video, I'm like, let's see what we can talk about in the next video. And I used to have segments where I was trying to come up with, like, okay, then we talk about this, then we talk about that, then we talk about, and we just go through all the lovely magical stuff throughout our day. And I've thrown mine out the window someplace. Let's see if I have it written down. Like an organized person, because I am not organized. Like, organization is just kind of like left. Tell you, I work, I'm just exhausted. I work with metal. I got to the point where I picked up a box and the sucker shocked me. But I'm like, what is in the world? There was some sort of converter or something, metal thing, but it's supposed to have been, I picked it up, it was heavy, and it was like, I'm like, there's not that much copper that isn't insulated or something. Like, dude, it's like making my hand hurt for the rest of the morning. It's not because I started that day with the hands in there with a phone, which didn't help me. I'm like, ugh. oh, coworker was talking about metal. I was talking about my sensitivity to metal to somebody. She goes, "Oh, do you have any metal like in your body, metal rods or whatever?" I was like, "Yeah, I got a metal tooth." She goes, "That's it?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "My sister's got one." She talked about the metal rod in her leg and that she's got metal sensitivity, and that's where, you know, it came from. I'm like, really? It could be an association. It could be where it comes from. It could be all about that. But I mean, like, wow, I hadn't considered that. So there's other people with metal sensitivity because they have metal in it. But I know another person, you know another person that has metal all in it, and I don't think they've talked about having metal fatigue or sensitivities to metal. So I don't know. It just more. I need more research, more data. Oh, tell you though, when you live without cats for a little while, you just kind of like you still have the. I gotta check before I turn around, before I step, so you don't step on something. You gotta check when you're working in the kitchen. I still look down every time I'm working in the kitchen and I'm about to turn around. Guess I trip over something that, you know, kids do that too, not just pets. Nope, I have stuff on cleaning, I have stuff on food, I have stuff on money. How are you guys doing money-wise? My money, I'm not where I should be. It was not my goal. But I have a pretty new laptop. And a roof over my head still. Uh, okay. Yeah, I have things like I was going to do this summer too. Goals, things, off, things like that. Yeah, no, I don't know where I put my video stuff. I haven't been on here forever. So everything's disorganized in life. So knowing what, instead of being like, oh no, I'm in a mess and I don't know what I'm doing, I need to, because then you spiral downwards on your failures. Who hasn't done that? Yeah. So it's take what I do know about how to make videos and how to stay up to date on things and get organized. Start again with what I know. And knowing this, I should probably not put so much sugar in my coffee. There's like not a lot of coffee left. Ooh, store list. I need to come up with a list to go to the store. So I could go into the store. I go to the store and then that's my whole day. There's more to life than going to the store. Yeah, but we will get there. We will get to our goal of self-sustaining happiness in a castle. Yes, I will do it. We will get there. I will pay off debt. Yes. Perseverance, patience, and each of the steps of the way. So it's not like, so you guys are getting this. You're getting this like, okay, here's this setback. We're like in limbo. We're like, oh my gosh, in the middle of, I know this is what I wanted. Like, how do I achieve that again? And instead of like, oh, look, I've spent these many years. It was really, really hard, but I did it. Okay, let's get the whole, yeah. Somebody's happy or pissed. That's like a wagon off pissed. They are not comfy. Oh, cuddly, wuddly, wuddlies. I need a cuddle bug. And I think my cuddle bugs are asleep. They did not want to go to sleep. Hmm? Oh, she's getting comfy. My cuddle bugs last night, it was interesting. So we're getting into the routine. And I'm hoping like while I'm at work, they can get themselves into the routine. And that's where I think they're lacking is getting themselves into the routine at night. So I have to figure out because like she screams. I put on that fireplace like I'm supposed to, or that ambient like I'm supposed to, and she screams bloody murder, which tells me it is not routine. Probably my fault. Also, I work, 3, 4 days out of the week where I'm not at home at night. But they have to be able to sleep, get up during the day, and do things. So yeah, no idea how to get them self motivated because I have no idea how to be self motivated. Yeah. We're at 24:12. So how's your attention? Am I enough to span out already? Lectured. Huh? I'm experimenting. Because you saying something, it might be true for the other viewers. And you're the only feedback I'm getting. So, huh? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, so they might enjoy The person that watches while I'm live, but I get other viewers throughout the day. You guys tend to cut out in the middle of it, or you watch for only so long, and that's good for what you want, you know. And this helps me learn, bring the content that you guys enjoy seeing, and the content I'd like to come to a content that I enjoy providing, and that you guys enjoy watching at the same time. So there's no point in making content that I don't enjoy creating, and there's no point to you watching a channel you don't enjoy seeing. So this kind of helps me evolve, trying to get into the content where I'm providing for you, you know, something that catches your interest. If I can keep a particular viewer enthralled personally, one on one, when I'm with them for over an hour, and I mean, we've been talking for over an hour occasionally, and without losing peaks of interest, how can I provide that for you guys? I mean, what kind of stories can I tell? Because I could tell stories. I seem to keep everybody else entertained. First, like when I'm sitting there talking to them, or sitting there telling stories about things. So, you know, talking to you or talking at you and lecturing and the blah blah background noise. I don't know what you prefer, but I'm trying today to be more engaging, and vice versa, and the likes, etc., etc., etc. Well, I'm doing it. I love the kitty. I have got to get it so that I can have my kitty here. Because one out of what? Three cats? No. Yeah. Yes. Now I'm distracted. Mm. But let's see. So how would I do this? How would I create a house outside for my cat? And building it ourselves would probably be cheaper. Yeah. Huh? That's why I don't discuss that further on YouTube and video where it's recorded and put down as proof and evidence that no, I may or may not have kept the cat outside during the hours in which the person who doesn't like having the cat inside, you know, inside. And of course, you know, I have a job. So as long as I keep up with the flea medicine and the heart medicine and all the other stuff that needs to be done, which reminds me, when was the last heart medicine administered? The phone dropped. Here we go. So it's probably due. The diatomaceous earth works too. It's food grade. You sprinkle it in the food. Mostly it keeps for the chickens, but it'll work for cats too. Just figure out the dosage. It's literally food grade. That's literally what it's for. So if you're out of heart medicine or the heart medicine expired or anything, yes, I am a natural hippie. Anti-disestablishmentarianism unite. Okay. Anyways, yeah. No, I've been, yeah, totally hippie. My views are, if it's been going on, if we have a problem, it's not like it hasn't been solved 4.6 billion years that the planet's been around. I mean, it took a while just to create a crust. You know, they got to figure out how to do something. Diseases with no cures?
I said it also took that, but it also took the diseases that long to compete with the cures to evolve as well.
Yes, this is true. Diseases have evolved. Like the virus, like currently our virus right now, our coronavirus, is displaying a new feature and mutation that is different from the way that we know viruses to behave, such as spreading in two different methods or being contagious in two different methods through contact and through, well, I guess they cautiously use the word aerosol or droplets. In other words, in a closed air vent, in a closed like room where the airflow is not picking through and circulating, it can spread from close enough contact in the air, as well as contact left on the surface and another person coming or another creature coming, and that it can spread. Cat. I don't remember if it's spread to dog. It's the fact that your cats can get sick from this too, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Usually it doesn't spread so quickly from species to species. You know, usually it's so. Then you start thinking, those movies with biological dystopias and post apocalyptic diseases that man created and went off, and they still don't know if it accidentally came from a lab because they're not going to bother to research that. So that I okay, I can't say I do or don't know. I need to go look that up to see if they're bothering to go look and check their lab stuff. They're like they suspect, but they're not accusing anybody of anything. Just outright go see enough that.
I'm thinking that it's just trying to being obstinate to give up the information.
Oh, they're not going to bother to look.
No, they're looking.
Yeah.
China just isn't cooperating.
Oh, China. Well, we've got more than just China that did the research, but is it the lab in China? It wasn't at the outskirts of the.
China,
Isn't. Okay.
yes, that's where the outbreak was first detected, but they're not giving up any information.
But the UK lab that's in China isn't cooperating either, is it? Yeah.
Order the Chinese government.
Oh, okay. That would explain why they're not cooperating. But I just thought they just got their feathers ruffled as well. Like, yeah. But I mean, it's this teeny tiny thing that may or may not contribute to the whole lab aspect. No, I'm not paranoid. No, no, no. Because you sit there and you think, I don't understand the conspirators that sit there and think, oh, coronavirus isn't that bad. I don't quite understand. They may not be as educated in the same manner, some differences. But yes, there is a virus out there that is extremely dangerous. And yes, people are dying. Yes, people are getting very, very sick. And it's not that I don't believe there is a coronavirus and that the media is making it bigger than it should be or is. Um, you can take a look at it and upscale it or downscale it versus, because people die from heart disease and cancer, and it's pretty much how my mother died this year. Then more so than coronavirus. But the fact is also, we also are taking precautions. There's the people here that if they didn't, you'd have like the streets of London during, bubonic plague burnings in the streets and things like that, and all those bird masks. And yeah. I watched Gollum. I don't think I finished. I fell asleep through most of the Gollum movie about where during like a Black Death or a plague. A nice Jewish community was in the middle of a celebration, and some dude came in and started like blaming them because he had this kid, and this kid was really, really sick. And he's like, "It's all your fault." And they're like, "No, dude, we just don't we just don't have contact with you guys. It's not us. We didn't start it. We didn't do anything." And he's like, "Well, if you don't cure this kid, I'm gonna kill y'all." And like, I think the movie later escalated to them using the power of Gollum, some magic thingy, and but it does make a point. It does make a big, big point that how they addressed the disease versus how clean water and taking care of yourselves and other stuff. Other people, take care of like large populations too. The more you have more people, the faster diseases spread. It's just and more severe it seems that they spread sometimes too. So it's just us taking care of ourselves makes it so that it's not as bad as it could be, which doesn't mean it's not as bad as it is. The coronavirus. And it's still a thing. Economically, I mean, there could have been pressures economically to re-jump businesses and things like that. Because I notice at work, we've started taking down all these, we had these clear corrals, we had all this 6 foot keep distance thing, and they're like, now it's like, they went with the as long as you're vaccinated, you can take your mask off, and I'm like, and they used to stagger the breaks so that not everybody was taking a break at the same time. And I'm not ready for break and everybody to just start, crowding. Like, no. No, it should have just been that way, period. It's for the rest of our career. It's not, I like the fact that our stations in the department that I'm working are separated where you don't have like a bunch of people in a station. You have all the stations separated. And I like that. I like that a lot. Your work and get done. I mean, like I like people generally. I like you. I like y'all. But I also like a little introverted. Like, give me some space occasionally. I like it where it's place and it's time to hang out with people, and it's place and it's time to be by yourself and get your work done. Yeah. But so coronavirus, I know it's affected a lot of people in a lot of different ways. Um, for me, talk about isolation and everything, and I'm like, ah, there's the things that I didn't know I wanted to do until I couldn't do them. And I'm like, I'm not so sure I want to do, even though they've opened a lot of things up. It feels like they open it all up all at once and they can flood, and it's just like, as soon as it looks like the virus is dormant, they want to flare up. Like, the vaccines help. Telling you, yes, it's great that we have vaccines, and I really appreciate the fact that we have vaccines and the vaccines are working. And I did go and get vaccinated because I went into the workforce. I was going to sit there and wait it out. Like, I was going to see what happened to all the people that got it done that were in high risk areas or that were in populations. And I was just going to sit in my house and my own little isolated, little pod and just watch to see if if it was either efficient at all at wiping out the virus, or if it was just like, oh, you took the shot and then like it worked for a couple of months, and then like the fact that it wasn't the whole virus and it was just the shell, that it overwiped, you know, the virus started, getting smarter than the antibodies or something, and mutated or something. I wanted to sit there out and watch what happened, but I entered the workforce and I was like, I'll have to be part of those people that are being watched by others to see whether or not like it gets it a little bit and then it like starts to die down a little bit and then explodes back with the force. I was wondering if like the virus would do something like that, but no, so far so good. So far it's handling the mutations. Um, it's not so bad. I did get blood clots in my nose a lot for those 2 weeks. I could tell when the 2 weeks was over, it wiped me. It really wiped me. So I would have, I should have taken like time off after the thing to recover. Because it's like when you take that time off that they're offering you, you're like, oh, it's just vacation time, and how people are like, probably like, we could do whatever. No, you sit home and you're like, blah. I'm like, sit. I'm like, I got up and I went to go do stuff. My numbers at work were horrible. Yeah, I was crap. I was crap while I was recovering from the vaccine. I mean, it's not like you get sick with it as you do like with the flu shots and all that stuff. You get sick, but it's sick enough that only enough that your body should be able to fight it back. Um, yeah, I I got it was just blood clots out the nose all the time. That was the worst of it, I think, and the blahs and the feeling like crap. Yeah, yeah, it was no fun. But now I am. What is this? The fuck did I get a carpenter hands? All right, interesting. I have a carpenter ant hanging out on my desk. The rains like to bring in the ants. My dad put on the cayenne pepper. The cayenne pepper did not work. Told him about the borax. No, you are not spreading pheromone all over, calling all your little friends to follow you. Carpenter ants, you just can't get rid of. We got rid of this. Must be a new colony because there weren't any carpenter ants for years. I mean, you know how in the winter you don't have any ants or insects in your house? We had carpenter ants couple of years back when I lived here, and what I did was I didn't know it wasn't any good for cats, but I spread it all over the carpet because they were all over the carpet for some reason, and it had been I think after a rain, especially with the floods and stuff. They like houses after rains and floods and things like that because their holes are probably all flooded. So what I did was I took the borax, I spread it all over the carpet, and we left. We came back, they were all dead. I was like, yay, they're dead. So I went to go get the vacuum to vacuum up the borax, and the other ants, they came in, and I'm like, oh no, it didn't work. They came and they took the dead. And then I hadn't seen them since, just now. So that means I'm going to find the borax and I'm going to start lining the house like us witches do with salt. We're going to borax this house. All, little creeps and crevices. Like, yeah. We'll see how that works. But yeah, they don't like the wet outside. And I don't have any house to put them in. We got a bat house though. Though I have read that there is what do you call it? Rabies. cases of rabies in my particular county. So I do have to be cautious with the bat house. Doesn't mean I'm not going to put the bat house in. It just means we have to be cautious that if I see the bat during the day, calmly in my house, not to approach it and to let the kids know not to touch it. It's not a friendly tame bat. It's not a pet bat. It is a bat that is sick, probably sick. But they do eat. So that would be like one or two bats out of like, I don't know how many bats there are in the area. I don't think that's for the general population. I think like the DNR or somebody in some sort of forestry organization. You know, who does all that stuff anyways? If there isn't, there should be. Um, yeah, the ones that take care of bats, and figure out the bat population. But they do take care of like 40,000 mosquitoes a night. I mean, it's insane how much they eat mosquitoes. So yeah, just to take care of the mosquito population and the fact that I have a pool, which is standing water, which is like, come breed mosquitoes. Like, no. And I don't want pesticides because then the rest of the ecosystem has to operate. And yeah, we need the rest of the ecosystem because those without the ecosystem right now are like dealing with crap. So yeah, so buttons, so wheat. I like so wheat because when you're sowing wheat and you're harvesting a crop of wheat, it sounds like sweet, which is nothing but sugar, anyways. I think I got more sugar than caffeine in this sucker. Go wheat. No, that's entertaining. There's the smile. I'm watching a viewer's reaction. This is entertaining. This is like what I wish I could do with a lot of my videos is sit there watch you guys watching me so that I know that we're mutually providing content and watching content and it's a mutual enjoyment. That would be entertaining. But that would be having enough subscribers, like billions of subscribers, that you sit there and do TED Talks and live videos like in a studio, or where you sit there and interact with other people like throughout. I would do it virtually now from now on, like, hey guys, watch this and watch the viewers watch virtually. After coronavirus, post coronavirus, I would be totally virtual. Like, yeah, I don't want to put a crowd in a room. No, does not sound appeasing. No. This does not sound safe anymore. Crowds scare me, actually. I am petrified to share something with you guys. Personally, I am scared of crowds. What movie was it that I was watching? It's a TV show or movie. And like one of my biggest nightmares, the person was actually having a nightmare. But the host was like, I will pay some ungodly amount of like thousands of dollars, like $10,000 to the first person that rips off this person's clothes. And I'm like, it's like watching a personal nightmare come true on the screen. I'm like having a crowd mob somebody. And I'm like, does this guy even have? My first thought is like, if I were in there, it'd be like, run, because I don't even think this guy's going to pay any person any money because I don't even know if that person has money to pay to do that. And it's just like that sheer fear of a crowd and the fact that crowds do things that, yeah, and about just, yeah, yeah. So I still go into crowds. I still operate in crowds. I still, you know, and it's funny because sit there and think about all the things that drive me full of anxiety and I still have to do it. I still do it every day. All the things, and I'm like, I don't enjoy my life. Uh, I'm like, you know, uh, what would my life be like if I only did the stuff that I liked? That sounds like a good video. I'm going to write that down because I didn't write that down before. Okay, so we'll get back into writing down and providing content with structure. Like, yeah, Jurassic Park, the beginning scene where that, I don't remember which Jurassic Park it was. The little girl gets eaten by all those. Yeah, no. Oh, purple again. Okay. All right. YouTube. I know how to spell YouTube. YouTube. Video content. Video content. Ideas. All right. So tomorrow we want to provide what life would look like if I only did stuff I liked or loved. Loved to do. To do. Passion. The passion. I love passion. I was told that Puerto Rico. I had a conversation with a coworker. There was somebody that works there, anyways. It's like it's describing Puerto Ricans, Puerto Rican women's, what he thinks Puerto Rican women would be like. I was like, whatever you do, don't date a bipolar woman. He's like, I'm pretty convinced they are. He also said that they're like Puerto Rican men. Oh, I'm like, yeah, I was like, don't date one. It's like, if you don't like that, if that's not your thing. Ah, uh, trauma and drama behind every word. We have fun though. Okay, so the next video, we'll figure out what life would be like if I was doing what I love. Only the stuff that I love. Interesting. The hippie. The psychotic hippie. What life would be like for the psychotic hippie. Bipolar lady. So what would my dream life be like? I mean, other people are living, they're like, I love life and all this stuff, and I'm only doing, we'll see what happens. Okay, I love you guys. Love you, love you guys. You guys have a good one, and I will see you on the next. Well, you'll see me on the next one, won't you? We'll figure it out. We will. I believe in us.